Okay, so let's start like usual with a little meditation, generate a positive motivation. So get comfortable wherever you're sitting, and then gradually focus your mind inwards, focus on your breath or your mind or a virtuous thought for a few moments. Try to focus your attention on some object of meditation and let go of everything else. So as we do this power practice, there's different stages, right? So this is the first stage, or first step. Try to generate some concentration. But as we do the practice, it's kind of like, it's kind of like putting layers of paint on canvas. So each layer you put on, the next layer you just put on top of it, right? And the layer you put on before stays there. You don't take layers off. You don't like put some paint on and take that off and put other paint on and take that off, put other paint on. Because then you end up with just not much at the end. And so each layer of paint you put on, you leave it there and then put the next layer of paint on top and the next layer of paint on top. And then you end up with a beautiful picture at the end. Hopefully, if you're a good painter. So like that, if you're a good meditator, then as you do each stage of the meditation practice, you keep a degree of the mindfulness you generated at first there, and then add a layer, add a layer. Right, so the first thing we do is we generate some degree of focus, mental focus. And then we'll go on to, generate loving kindness, compassion, or motivation. But when we go on to generate, our motivation, we want to keep the mental focus there, right? And then when we go on to generate refuge, we want to keep mental focus and compassion or positive motivation. Keep them there and then add refuge. So you like that, you build up kind of layers of awareness. Okay, so go back to your mental focus just for a moment. Focus your mind on the object of meditation. So while trying to maintain your mental focus, but we shift the object of our attention. We shift the focus of our mind to a different object. We try to maintain the quality of focus. So now the new object is all sentient beings. Imagine all sentient beings who we're going to pray for, seated all around us. You can imagine those whom you're closer to, friends and family, and to you, beside you and behind you, supporting you. And those whom you have the most difficulty dealing with, and your opponent become angry with, seated right in front of you, facing towards you, as a reminder to really make effort in improving the quality of our attention, those sentient beings, and then all the other sentient beings in human form. Imagine all around us. Remember our interconnectedness of them, and then try to generate just a wish to benefit all of them, love, and a wish to free them all from that form of misery and problem and difficulty, which is compassion. Yeah, so visualize all sentient beings Be aware of all sentient beings seated around you, and then try to generate a positive attitude towards them, with a sense of gratitude, and so forth, as a motivation. That's why we're doing this practice. And why are we doing this practice? In order to benefit not only ourselves, but also all of the sentient beings. So try to focus your attention and generate that kind of positive attitude, positive motivation, and strongly, sincerely. So next we'll show the screen. And before we go for refuge, we'll read this this glance meditation on the graduate.
Venerable, just a moment. Can you bring your mic closer to you? It kind of fades in and out, and it's a little unclear. Maybe increase the volume.
Maybe my Bluetooth thing got disconnected. Let me check. No, it's connected. I can't. Well, I mean, it's right here. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere here. Can you hear now?
Yes, Venerable.
Okay. Maybe I just need to speak more loudly. So how do I close that? Okay. Okay. You can see my screen, right? Advanced meditation on the graduated path.
Yes, Venerable. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll just read that briefly and then reflect on that for a moment, a few moments, and then go for refuge. So from here, refuge. I take refuge in the Holy Guru, essence of all Buddhas, original grantor of all holy teachings and Lord of all supreme beings. Please, Guru Buddhas, bestow on me the ability to unify my mind with the Dharma and be successful in practicing Dharma in order to achieve the graduated path. May no hindrances occur while achieving this path. Please bless me to realize that I have received a perfect human rebirth, which is highly meaningful. Which is highly meaningful, for many reasons difficult to obtain, but perishable, transient, and fragile, decaying in the shortest moment because of its changeable nature. Thus, my death is definite, but its actual time is most indefinite. And after death, I am far more likely to be reborn in the lower suffering rooms, having created infinitely more negative and positive karma in this life than all previous lives. Please bless me to comprehend how incredibly unendurable is the suffering of the lower realms, that I may take refuge in the Buddha Dharma Sangha with all my heart, and realize the evolution of karma in all its profundity, that I might perform only virtuous actions and abandon all negative inclinations. In the prayer of the practitioner of middling capability, by practicing in this way, I will be reborn in the upper realms, but will still have to experience unlimited samsara suffering because of uncontrolled delusion and karma. Please bless me to realize fully the evolution of samsara from uncontrolled rebirth to death to rebirth, and to follow the day and night three higher trainings of the path: higher conduct, higher concentration, and higher wisdom, which are the main methods to release me from samsara. But as each sentient being has been my mother, and as most of them are in extreme suffering, please bless me to bring success to all by renouncing the perfect happiness of self and practicing the Bodhisattva's deeds of the six perfections with the Bodhisattva's mind of exchanging self with others on the basis of the equanimity meditation. Thus I shall have no sorrow in experiencing the samsaric suffering of all other sentient beings, for no matter how long, having trained my mind on the general path and the Vajrayana path. Please bless me to follow the quick Vajrayana teachings by feeling sentient beings suffering very unimaginably unbearable for even the shortest moment, as my own, and to achieve the attainment of Shakyamuni Buddha immediately at this very moment by keeping my ordinations and the instructions of the Guru with the best and highest care and life for the sole purpose of enlightening all sentient beings. What is the refuge karma? Okay, so now we'll do this visualization and then go for refuge. Okay, so first briefly, reflect on whatever meaning you gleaned from that prayer, the 1 minute prayer, or if you know, if you're familiar with the main points of the 1 minute, just reflect on them briefly. Position, rebirth, impermanence, and death, and so forth. And then, so we're going to do this before we do the, no, I just did. Okay, so visualize. And now I visualize the Guru above the crown of our head with Tara at the Guru's heart. Above the crown of my head, I visualize a lotus and a moon disk. Upon these is the great treasury of compassion, Arya Tara, mother of all enlightened beings, who is oneness with my kind Guru. My Guru is seated in the full lotus position within a transparent sphere of rainbow-colored light. Has a pink complexion and wears the saffron robes of a monk and a penance hat. His right hand is at his heart in a gesture of teaching Dharma and holds a vajra and the stem of a white lotus that blossoms beside his right ear. His left hand rests upon his hip that holds a bell and the stem of another white lotus that blossoms beside his left ear. And so briefly visualize the Guru, whether it's a man or a woman, just in their ordinary way they appear. Imagine them above the crown of your head. Very happy with you. In one nature with Tara and all the Buddhas, experiencing great bliss, and compassion, wisdom, and happiness. So then at the Guru's heart is Arya Tara, in a female aspect, green in color, and seated in a dancing posture within a rainbow bubble of light. Her left leg is bent up or folded up, and her right leg is outstretched, partly outstretched, partly extended. Her left hand is at her heart in a mudra symbolizing a triple gem and holding the stem of a blue utpagi flower. The right hand is extended over her right knee with the palm face up, and it's the pointer finger and the thumb touching. In the mudra of granting sublime realizations. She is beautifully adorned with jeweled ornaments and scarves, and at her 3 places, means her crown, her throat, and her heart, are the 3 syllables Om. At her heart is a lotus, so it's very small in the middle of her heart chakra. It's a very small lotus, the size of half of a pea. At her heart is a lotus and moon seat, upon which stands a radiant green syllable, Tan, which invokes all the enlightened beings of the 10 directions. They are all absorbed into Arya Tara and become one. Okay. So yeah, spend a couple moments, just strongly visualize. So there's Tara, the Guru's heart, and then at Tara's heart, there's a lotus and moon disk with the letter T. So imagine this Guru and Tara are one nature with one body, all the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. These are the refuge. Another way to think is that the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, all the Buddhas, and the Dharma and the Sangha, they all appear in this aspect of our Guru, and at whose heart, and at the Guru's heart, they appear in the aspect of green Tara. And then the green Tara's heart, all the Buddhas appear in the aspect of the letter tongue. Then we make a request and then go for refuge. Please remain above my head until I receive enlightenment. Make a request from your heart. Let the Guru and Tara remain above your head or remain with you to guide you until enlightenment. Okay, and then we go for refuge. Refuge prayer. So generate the mind, faith that the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha appearing as the Guru and Tara, that they have the power to protect us and all other sentient beings from the sufferings of this life, sufferings of future lives, and of samsara in general, and lead us all the way to the state of the perfection of all of our positive qualities. So then we go through refuge by reciting the prayer with that mindfulness, the attitude of refuge. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly by my merit from giving and other perfections. May I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly by my merit from giving and other perfections. May I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly by my merit from giving and other perfections. May I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. So briefly try to remember all the stages of meditation we've done until now. First we focus, generate some mental focus. Then visualize all sentient beings around us, which we still try to maintain, and generate a positive motivation of loving kindness and compassion. And we try to remember different aspects of the graduated path and the meditations there. And then we'll visualize the Guru and Tara above the crown of our head, and then generate the attitude of refuge. So trying to retain the flavor of all of those in our mind and continue with the 7 prayer. With my body, speech, and mind, I devoutly prostrate. I offer all offerings, both real and imagined. I visualize offering skies full of beautiful, enjoyable, and delicious, attractive offerings. The Guru and Tara above the crown of our head. All the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all holy beings in the direction. And then we confess all the wrong deeds. All sins and offenses are masked from the beginning of time and confess. Especially generate the mind of regret for all the harmful things we've done. I rejoice in all virtuous actions of all holy and ordinary beings. So then think of all the good things we've done and others have done. Think how excellent, wonderful. We rejoice. And then we make a request for the Guru to teach the Dharma to remain. All Gurus and Buddhas, please remain until samsara ends. and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. All my virtues, and then dedicate. All my virtues and those of all others I dedicate to the great enlightenment. So dedicate to the enlightenment of all sentient beings. And then we'll make a mandala offering, these two verses. So visualize the entire world, transform it into a pure land, a forest field, and then filled with, again, attractive offerings and offer. This ground, anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun, and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. Now all living beings enjoy this pure land. The objects of my attachment, aversion, ignorance, friends, enemies, and strangers, and my body, wealth, and enjoyments. Without any sense of loss, I offer this collection. Please accept it with pleasure and bless me with freedom from the 3 pleasures. We'll make 4 requests and we'll set the mantra. Oh, now actually we have to dissolve in the emptiness. We'll make these requests. Please bless me to purify all obscurations, non-virtues of my body, so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra body. So make a request. Purify all obscurations of our body, especially all sickness and disease. So then visualize white light emanates from the Om at Aryatara's brow, curves in an arc into my brow. My body is purified completely of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra body. So visualize this white light comes down, fills your entire body, purifying, and the body of all sentient beings around you, purifying all sickness and disease, hunger and thirst and so forth. And then the second request, please bless me to purify all obscurations of my speech, so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra speech. So make a request in your mind. And the speech become one with Guru Tara's speech. And then visualize red light emanates from the Aryatara's throat and curves in an arc to enter my throat. My speech is purified completely of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra speech. And then the third request, please bless me to purify all obscurations of my mind, so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra mind. And make a request from your heart. And then visualize blue light emanates from the Hum and Aryatara's heart and curves in an arc down into my heart. My mind is purified of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with the Guru Tara's holy Vajra mind. And then the fourth and last request. Please bless me to purify all delusions and subtle obscurations to omniscience, so that my body, speech, and mind will become one with Guru Tara's holy body, speech, and mind. Make a request from your heart. And then visualize now the 3 colored light beams, so white, red, and blue, emanate simultaneously from the Om, Ah, and Hum in Tara's holy body, curving in an arc and entering my 3 places, completely purifying all my delusions and subtle obscurations to omniscience. My body, speech, and mind become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy body, holy speech, and holy mind. So then visualize my root guru dissolves into Aryatara, it melts into green light, a little drop of green light, which flows into me, completely fills my entire body. Instantly, my wrong conception that I and all other phenomena are self-existent or existent from their own side Together with my dualistic mind, its views disappear, becoming completely empty. Not even a trace of them remains. I concentrate one-pointedly on this empty state with the wisdom that is indistinguishably one with the Guru Tara's blissful omniscient mind. Right. So, to whatever degree you can, then meditate on yourself and all phenomena dissolving into emptiness. Which doesn't mean that they don't exist, but it means they don't exist from their own side or inherently. Or if that you're not sure what that means, then you can also just think that yourself and all phenomena are impermanent, right? That none of them remain unchanging for even the slightest moment. From moment to moment, everything is changing, transforming. So either meditate on impermanence, or if you can, meditate on emptiness, empty nature of everything. Yourself, other sentient beings around you, and empty, and then the environment, the earth, the oceans, the sky, and everything. So I think everything becomes like space, like empty space. So then, out of that emptiness, my wisdom, mind, arises instantly as Aratara's holy body, seated upon a lotus and moon cushion. Right? So imagine in the midst of this space, then is like filled with rainbow-colored light, and in the middle of all this rainbow-colored light is Aratara. There's a lotus blossom, a big, large, open, fully open lotus blossom. Upon that is a moon, like a disk of white light, a moon disk, like a flat disk of white light, very visible. And upon that appears Aryatara. So Tara is green in color. Yeah, I'm going to show a picture instead of trying to describe again. Most of you know what Tara looks like, but it's always good to see again. So there. So imagine Tara in space. Remember not only what her body looks like, right, but what the quality of her speech, especially the qualities of her mind, her loving kindness, compassion, patience, enthusiasm, determination, wisdom, skillfulness, and joy. More than all these positive qualities. And foremost, the caring about you, caring about others, for which to benefit you and also like yours. Tar, in the midst of the space. And then at Tara's heart, again, is another, very small, again, like the size of half of a pea, a small lotus, which is a moon disk. Again, in the middle of the moon disk stands the letter Tam, the green letter Tam upright. And then around the edge of the moon disk are the letters of Tara's mantra, Om Tari Tutari Swaha, standing upright in the clockwise direction. Visualize that. So again, just as Tara is the embodiment, is the manifestation of all of these enlightened qualities, then so too is the letter Tam, the letters of the mantra. So here, Sadhana says, the tongue and the mantra are manifestations of Guru Tara's holy mind, with which my mind is totally united. Okay, so now we'll recite the mantra and do these three different visualizations. So the first one is green light. And green light radiates from all the letters of the mantra, spreading in every direction, like infinite, rays of this brilliant green light. And you can visualize it however you want, maybe filled with golden sparkles or wavy or with streaks of blue in it, or very heavy and liquidy, or very bright. So green light radiates out from the letters of the mantra, spreading in every direction. It purifies the negative karmas, gross delusions, and subtle obscurations, the omniscience of all sentient beings. So remember, all sentient beings sitting around us, just like from the beginning. And we recite the mantra, the heart, which is at the heart of Tara, and then green is brilliant green light rays radiate out from the mantra in every direction, purifying all sentient beings. So especially whatever, if there's someone special you want to think about, focus on them. If there's a group of people or particularly suffering, think about them. If you want to think about purifying COVID-19 pandemic or climate destruction, pollution, so forth, whatever you want to focus on purifying it. As I recite the mantra for a few minutes. Taritu Taritu Swaha. And then the mantra. Now has Taritu Taritu Swaha. Taritu Taritu Swaha. Second visualization is with offerings. So we continue reciting the mantra, and again, light radiates from the letters of the mantra throughout the universe, bearing manifold offerings to the six transcendental senses of all the Buddhas. So it means all the enlightened eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and especially mind. Offerings, visual offerings to the eyes, offerings of scent to the nose, offerings of sound to the ears, offerings of taste to the tongue, mouth, offerings of tactile sense to the body, and especially offerings of our aspirations and realizations and positive qualities to the Buddha's enlightenment mind. Of all the Buddhas throughout the universe and to all sentient beings who have become Tara. Let's visualize all sentient beings throughout the universe that they become Tara, and then make offerings to them as we continue to recite the mantra. Om Tara Tuta. Then the last visualization is being blessed with all of the cars raining down upon us. So the enlightened beings are extremely pleased and shower down the superlative qualities of Buddha Tara's holy body, holy speech, and holy mind, such as omniscient wisdom, supreme power, infinite compassion, and so forth, in the form of a great shower of enlightenment. As I recite the mantra, I absorb and am blessed by this rain. But so imagine all sentient beings have become Taras, and all the Buddhas and enlightened beings throughout the universe, all appearing as the Tara. They're very pleased with us having purified and then made offerings to all of them. And then they rain down like a shower of, you can think images of Tara or rainbow light rays or letters of the mantra, texts or whatever inspires you. All the Buddhas rain down upon us and it absorbs into us, and then we're blessed to become one essence of karma. So visualize clearly, you and all sensations will all become purified of all obscurations, and you will all become completely, perfectly aligned with our entire. You're all one nature with the Guru, all Gurus, especially with the Dharma. Okay. All right. With this, these two verses, and then that will bring the King of Pairs. May I quickly become Guru Tara and lead each and every sentient being into her enlightened state because of these merits. May the supreme jewel, bodhicitta, that has not arisen, arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish but increase. The King of Pairs, we'll dedicate this as well. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri, the lions amongst humans, gone to freedom in the past, present, past, and future. In the worlds of 10 directions, to all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, To all you Buddhas, visualize as real and bow down. On every atom are Buddhas, numberless as atoms, each amidst a host of Bodhisattvas, and I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way, with infinite oceans of praise for you and oceans of sound from the aspect of marvelous. I sing the breathtaking excellence of the Buddhas and celebrate all of you on the bliss. Beautiful flowers and regal gardens, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense I offer to you, victorious ones. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Moon. All wondrous offerings in spectacular array I offer to you, victorious ones. With transcendent offerings, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, the strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I have done with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and confusion, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift up my heart and rejoice in all positive potential of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers, here is still training that knows beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience to the stages of awakening, all you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request, you who may actualize cloudy nirvana, please stay with us for eons numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wonders in samsara. Whatever slight positive potential I may have created by paying homage, offering, and acknowledging my faults, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddhas stay and teach, I now dedicate all this to full awakening. May you Buddhas now living in the worlds of 10 directions, and all you gone to freedom in the past accept my offerings. May those not yet arisen quickly perfect their minds, and awakening as fully enlightened ones. May all worlds in 10 directions be entirely pure and vast. May they be filled with bodhisattvas, surrounding Buddhas, gathered beneath a Bodhi tree. May as many beings as exist in 10 directions be always well and happy. May all samsaric beings live in accord with the Dharma, and may their every Dharma wish be fulfilled. Remembering my past lives and all varieties of existence, may I practice the Bodhisattva way, and thus in each cycle of death, migration, and birth, may I always abandon the householder's life. Then, following in the footsteps of all the Buddhas and perfecting the practice of the Bodhisattva, may I always act without error or compromise, with ethical discipline, faultless and pure. May I teach the Dharma in the language of gods, and in every language of spirits and others, of humans and of demons, and in the voice of every form of being. May I be gentle-minded, cultivating the 6 paramitas, and never forget bodhicitta. May I completely cleanse without omission every negativity and all that obscures this awakened mind. May I traverse all my lives in the world, free of karma, afflictions, and interfering forces, just as the lotus blossom is undisturbed by the water's wave, just as the sun and moon move unhindered through the sky. May I ease the suffering in the lower realms and in the many directions and dimensions of the universe. May I guide all wonders in samsara to the pure bliss of awakening and be of worldly benefit to them as well. May I practice constantly for eons to come, perfecting the activities of awakening, acting in harmony with the various dispositions of beings, showing the ways of the Bodhisattva. May I always have the friendship of those whose path is like mine, and with body, words, and also mind. May we practice together the same aspirations and activities. May I always meet a spiritual mentor and never displease an excellent friend who deeply wishes to help me and expertly teaches the Bodhisattva way. May I always directly see the Buddhas, masters encircled by Bodhisattvas, and without pause or discouragement for eons to come, may I make extensive offerings to him. May I hold within me the Buddha's genuine Dharma, illuminate everywhere the teachings that awaken, embody the realizations of the Bodhisattva, and practice ardently in all future eons. While circling through all states of existence, may I become an endless treasure of good qualities, skillful means, wisdom, samadhi, and liberating stabilizations, gathering limitless pristine wisdom and positive potential. On one atom I shall see Buddha fields numberless as atoms, inconceivable Buddhas among bodhisattvas in every field, practicing activities of awakening. Perceiving this in all directions, I dive into an ocean of Buddha fields, each an ocean of the 3 times Buddhas in the space of a wisp of hair. So I too will practice for an ocean of eons. Thus I am continually immersed in the speech of the Buddhas, expression that reveals an ocean of qualities in one word, the completely pure eloquence of all the Buddhas, communication suited to the very tendencies of beings. With strength of understanding, I plunge into the infinite enlightened speech of the Dharma of all Buddhas and 3 times gone to freedom, who continually turn the wheel of Dharma methods. I shall experience in one moment such vast activity of all future eons, and I will enter into all eons in 3 times, in but a fraction of a second. In one instant, I shall see all those awakened beings, past, present, and future alliance amongst humans, and with the power of the illusion-like stabilization, I will constantly engage in their inconceivable activity. I shall manifest upon one single atom the array of pure lands, past, present, past, and future. Likewise, I shall enter the array of pure Buddha fields in every direction without exception. I shall enter the very presence of all my guides, those lights of this world who are yet to appear, those sequentially turning the wheels of complete awakening, those who reveal nirvana, final perfect peace. May I achieve the power of swift magical emanation, the power to lead to the great vehicle for every approach, the power of always beneficial activity, the power of love pervading all realms, the power of all surpassing positive potential, the power of supreme knowledge unobstructed by discrimination, and through the powers of wisdom, skillful means, and samadhi, may I achieve the perfect power of awakening, purifying the power of all contaminated actions, crushing the power of disturbing emotions at the root, diffusing the power of interfering forces. I shall perfect the power of the Bodhisattva practice. May I purify an ocean of worlds, may I free an ocean of beings, may I clearly see an ocean of Dharma, and may I realize an ocean of pristine wisdom. May I purify an ocean of activities, may I fulfill an ocean of aspirations, may I make offerings to an ocean of Buddhas, may I practice without discouragement for an ocean of eons. To awaken fully to this Bodhisattva way, I shall fulfill without exception all the diverse aspirations of the awakening practice of all Buddhas gone to freedom in the 3 times everywhere, in order to practice exactly as the wise one called Samantabhadra and all-embracing good, the elder brother of the sons and daughters of the Buddhas. I completely dedicate all this goodness. Likewise, may I dedicate just as the skillful Samantabhadra with pure body, speech, and mind, pure actions, and pure Buddha fields. I shall give rise to the aspirations of Manjushri for this Bodhisattva practice of all embracing good, to perfect these practices without discouragement or pause in all future eons. May my pure activities be endless, my good qualities boundless, and through abiding in immeasurable activity, may I actualize infinite emanations. Limitless is the end of space. Likewise, limitless are living beings. Thus, limitless are karma and afflictions. May my aspirations reach be limitless as well. One may offer to the Buddhas all wealth and adornments of infinite worlds in 10 directions, and one may offer during eons numberless atoms of the world, even the greatest happiness of gods and humans. But whoever hears this extraordinary aspiration and longing for the highest awakening, gives rise to faith just once, creates far more precious positive potential. Those who make offerings, those who make this heartfelt aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, will be free of all lower rebirths, free of harmful companions, and will quickly see Amitabha, infinite light. And even in this very human life, they will be nourished by happiness and have all conducive circumstances. Without waiting long, they will become like Samantabhadra himself. Those who give voice to this extraordinary aspiration will quickly and completely purify the 5 boundless harmful actions created under the power of ignorance. Blessed with supreme knowledge, excellent body, family, attributes, and appearance, they will be invincible to vast interfering forces and misleading teachers, and all the 3 worlds who make offerings. Going quickly to the noble Bodhi tree and sitting there to benefit beings, subduing all interfering forces, they will fully awaken and turn the great wheel of Dharma. I have no doubt that complete awakening is the fully ripened result, comprehended only by a Buddha, of holding in mind by teaching, reading, or reciting this aspiration of the Bodhisattva practice, in order to train just like the hero Manjushri who knows reality as it is, and just like Samantabhadra as well. I completely dedicate all this goodness just as they did. With that dedication, which is praised as greatest by all the Buddhas gone to freedom in 3 times, I too dedicate all my roots of goodness for the attainments of the Bodhisattva practice. When the moment of my death arrives, by eliminating all obscurations and directly perceiving Amitabha, may I go immediately to Sukhavati, pure land of great joy. Having gone to Sukhavati, may I actualize the meaning of these aspirations, fulfilling them all without exception, for the benefit of beings for as long as this world endures. Born from an extremely beautiful superlative lotus, and this joyful land, the Buddha's magnificent mandala, may I receive a prediction of my awakening directly from the Buddha Amitabha. Having received a prediction there, may I create vast benefit for beings throughout the 10 directions with a billion emanations by the power of wisdom. Through even the small virtue I have accumulated by offering this prayer of the Bodhisattva practice, may all the positive aspirations of beings be fulfilled in an instant. Through creating limitless positive potential by dedicating this prayer of Samantabhadra's deeds, and all beings drowning in this torrent of suffering enter the presence of Amitabha. Through this king of aspirations, which is the greatest of the sublime, helping infinite wonders in samsara, through the accomplishment of this dazzling the scripture dazzling of Samantavada's practice, may suffering realms be utterly emptied of all beings. And we have a dedication list. So we'd like to dedicate the long life and health and fulfillment of the holy wishes of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, Gantrul Rinpoche, Seikan Rinpoche, Tenam Rinpoche, Deshichuni, and Constable Rinpoche, and for the long lives of all of our Dharma teachers, and for the quick enlightenment of all our kind benefactors, and then for those who are having health obstacles to good health, Indrajit Kaur, Manohar Gill, Saroj Gujral, Talasi Ram's wife, the monks of Namgyal Monastery, Ratin Roy, Sonam Sherpa, and all the others. May they have perfect health, and all those who are suffering from sickness, disease, any form of ill health, physical discomfort, may they all immediately be relieved of that and perfectly healed and have perfect health. And then those who have recently passed away, Ravi Mundakarwani, Ursula Menzies, Hari, Jean Kali, Liam Husted, Venerable Nawan Darge, Ram Kumar, Linda Kawar, Samuel Olsen, Tulasi Ram San, Debashish Panti, Sora Parak, Punam Pandey, Vivek Kumar, Michael Singh Koro, Nishid Chode, Narsang Rao, Srinath, Quinton Jones, Rabinius Mins, Vijay Saxena, Venamanti Joshi, Ashish Bansal, Venerable Tenzin Dawa, and others. Anyone who's passed away in the last 49 days, especially recently, take rebirth in a Pure Land or Precious Human Rebirth, and with whatever conditions are most beneficial to progress on the spiritual path to enlightenment. And then for all the Dharma projects and activity, especially the Institute for Wisdom Culture, and all the other centers in India, may the Holy Buddha Dharma be reestablished in India, the land of its origin, and all of the world, and may all sentient beings do that. And then add another prayers, personal prayers you have. May all those prayers be fulfilled in accordance with the wishes. Okay, the end. Stop there. Thank you all for joining tonight. And hope you come again next week. Until then,
Next week, same time.
Thank you, Andrew.